Hello, this is Ben coming to you from New York City, and I am starting my tutorial kind of show you through how I make one of my albums. So I thought I would actually start with, and I've actually made some notes as to what I'm going to talk about. But this first video is just a quick intro. I'm going to talk about my process, how I'm going to make some decisions at the beginning. As we start to go through this, I'm filming in a different way. I've got the camera on the opposite side of me. So I hope this goes well. I think I'm going to be able to flip it the other way so it'll look right side up on the computer. I certainly hope that I can do that. But I've got with my process, the first thing I do is select a paper, and that's why I have this out. This is the Travel Documented Paper Pad by Teresa Collins. It's a 48 sheet paper pad, 12 by 12 sheets. They are single-sided, but I do like a lot of the designs in this. Just to show you a few of the pages, you've got these globes, lots of chevrons. Basically, the good thing about this sheet is you see the color story of the pack. It's this burgundy, this navy. I think it's a good mix of both vintage and non-vintage. There's two different sheets of good cut apart, so there's two of those, and then there are two of these with the 3x4s. So lots of good cut aparts. Journaling, I like the cut aparts because most of these are journaling, so you can write on them. Even more cut aparts with words, map, you know, just really travel themed things. I really like this. I think the colors are pretty masculine too, so I appreciate that. It's not too vintagey, but I am gonna vintage it up a little bit with some inking the edges and things like that. So I've picked this, and basically, because of the nature of this paper, it is gonna be a travel album, right? So this will be an album made for someone to document travel in general, either a single trip or the travel over a certain period of time. So the next thing I need to decide is what size I'm going to make the mini album. Now, since this paper pad is so big, it's 48 sheets, I really can do just about any size. So I'm thinking that on this one, I'm gonna do an 8x8. I think that is a good size. One of the other things I want to make sure is, because I really love this cut apart right here, and this cut apart is slightly smaller than 8x6, so I'll be able to use this in an 8x8 album. It's basically like 7.5 by 5.5. So, but I also have plenty of paper. So, you know, if you get one of those Graphic 45 paper pads, are only 24 sheets, you know, you have to be a little more careful with how big are you going to make it, how much do you want to do. Basically, if I make an 8x8 with this, 48 sheets will make sure that I can do whatever I want. I can make as many pockets and mats and everything double-sided that I want. So this will be a really great paper pad to use. It's also really nice quality paper. It's pretty thick too. So we already talked about the theme. Because it's travel, I really do want to make sure though that I get a good amount of journaling, because typically when you're going to document your travel, you not only want a lot of space to put your photos, but you're going to want to write about what you did every day and what you saw and what you liked. There's a lot of writing, I think, that goes into a travel album. So I think that we just want to make sure that we do that. But again, we have so much paper, we can make anything. And then there's just a couple other decisions that I want to make, and I'm going to make them now, before we even start, because it's better to make some of these decisions before you start, and that way you're not making them on the fly. So the first one is what color cardstock I want to use, and I think with this one, because the colors are kind of masculine, and I'm going to use a craft cardstock. I think will complement these papers really well. The three colors I use are either black, craft, or gray. but I'm going to use the craft on this one. And the other decision I'm going to go ahead and make right now has to do with the corners. So the corners of the photo mats. Am I going to leave them square? Am I going to round them? But in this case, and actually I don't have it handy, but I'm going to use the ticket corner punch on them. I'm going to make them, all the mats will have that ticket edge going on. I think with the travel theme, that always goes very well. But again, that's a just good decision to make now. That way when I start, I've already made that decision and I'm ready to go. So with my mats, it's just going to become automatic that I, you know, make them into tickets. The other thing I'm going to decide right now is my ink, and I'm going to use the Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Vintage Photo. That's going to be my ink color for this. I do want to vintage this up a little bit because it's pretty slick looking, so I will be using this probably quite a bit. So that's all I have now. The next video is going to be about supplies and kind of gathering everything that you'll need. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.